If you click this video, you're probably interested in the idea of making money through trading, particularly binary options. That's understandable, of course, because who doesn't want to earn more money from home at any time, any given time? So I've been in this field for 8 years, and along the way, I've encountered it all. I've encountered so many things: success, disappointment, losses, and even significant income. And by the end of this video, you will understand what bloggers are lying to you about binary options and what the truth really is. I will also explain why, despite the long journey and failures in this field, I stayed and continue to trade. So this is Thomas. Hit the like button and let's get started. What makes trading so attractive? Its accessibility, quick results, and minimal investment. Listen, accessibility: almost anyone can open up an account on a platform in just a few minutes, and it doesn't require higher education or complex verification. It's all very simple, guys. Quick results: a minute's trade, and within 60 seconds, you can see your balance grow. At first glance, it seems like magic, where everything is decided with one click. Minimal investment: you can start with a small amount, like $10, for example. For many, this seems like a great start, with almost no risk of losing something significant. But let's look at it differently. Yes, it all sounds appealing, but these advantages are exactly what bloggers play on, who most often have never actually earned money from trading themselves, guys. So what do? They create an illusion of easy money, showing a picture far from reality. For example, accessibility. Opening an account is indeed easy, but earning is a different story. Without knowledge, practice, and discipline, it turns into a game, not an investment. Quick results: in 60 seconds, you can indeed win. But that's a one-time thing. Most people lose their money as quickly as they earn it because the market is chaotic and analysis is a must. So minimal investment: you can start with $10, but the truth is that money only lasts for a couple of trades. After that, you either top up your deposit or walk away disappointed. And here lies the main misconception: simplicity in trading doesn't mean ease. It's not a money button that you can just press. It is a complex job that requires preparation, patience, and risk management skills. So most, inspired by false promises, face the reality where instead of quick profits, they encounter losses. Why does this happen, and what mistakes do beginners make? I will explain why this happens and what mistakes beginners make, so do not dare turn off the video. Stay put. Well, according to studies, 95% of them lose money. And here arises the logical question: why? Well, it all seems so simple and all that, but there are two buttons: buy and sell. But here's the thing: the 5 main reasons why most people fail are lack of knowledge. Most beginners think that watching a couple of YouTube videos is enough to start earning. False expectation: they think that trading is a magic button that will solve all the financial problems. Emotions: fear of losing money or being influenced by greed leads to rash decisions, guys. Lack of plan: trading without a clear strategy is like swimming without a map. Risky decisions: trying to make up for losses usually leads to losing the entire deposit. I went through this myself. When I started, I had the same misconception: trading was an easy way to make money while sitting at home. But reality quickly brought me down to earth, guys. Straight up. I admit, I lost about 137 deposit before because of these mistakes. And this is an important point. Imagine that you become the CEO of a construction company, for example, and a person needs to go through a long journey. First, they learn, then work in different positions, gaining experience, and only then do they get the position that brings serious income. It's the same in trading. There is no place for quick success without effort, knowledge, and experience. In a field where big profits are possible, it can be that easy. Behind every result, there is a responsibility for your money, your decisions, and your emotions. After all, the more opportunities, the higher the cost of mistakes. And if you think that success in trading is just luck, you're absolutely wrong. Guys, let me start by saying it all began for me when I started trading. Seemed like a game. Everywhere on the internet, there were stories about how one could quickly become a millionaire. I also thought all you had to do was press a button and the money would start pouring in. I'm sure some of you had the same thoughts in your head, let's be honest. But as you probably guessed, reality turned out to be quite different. And then came the first blow, guys. I lost a large amount of money in a single day, guys. Crazy. Honestly, it felt like a slap on the face. You sort of understand that it's not that easy, but when it happens, it hurts. That's when you realize something went wrong. So what do you think my mistake was, or what my mistakes were? Yes, I didn't understand that trading is not just a game of luck, it's a serious work. And I made some mistakes many beginners make. After that, I learned my first important lesson: never trade with borrowed money. Again, guys, never trade with borrowed money. I know many people start believing that this is the quick earning method. I went through it myself. One time, I borrowed money from friends, hoping I would do everything right and pay them back quickly like that. The outcome, I lost it all and I had to apologize. Well, it was a tough lesson, but it taught me one thing: trading with someone else's money is the worst idea you can come up with. Some of you may think, what's wrong with that? Believe me, it's definitely not the path you want to take. Now, let's imagine this situation. How many years do you think it takes to become a good doctor? I agree, 1 to 2 years of study is just the beginning, yeah? You need to go through a long journey and gain experience. It's the same thing in trading. You not only need to know the theory, but also learn by practicing. You need to understand how the market works, control your emotions, and make decisions based on analysis, not just luck. I went through this journey with mistakes, but the most important thing is I realized that having a strategy and following it, even when scared, is crucial. When I started trading with discipline, and my foundation was a proper strategy, my results began to improve. And now you might say, all these theories sound nice, but how do we actually change the situation? Believe me, I had the same question. I really did. When I started sticking to a plan and stopped trading on emotions, my results began to stabilize. For example, 3 months after I began seriously approaching trading, not only did I recover my losses, but I also ended up in profit. And after 6 months, my results became much more stable. It's not an instant miracle, but trust me, it works. So what do you think? Is it more important to be disciplined and follow strategy, or rely on luck? I would say this: if I had known this from the beginning, I might not have lost so much. But those mistakes became my best teachers. Now, let's talk about what you really need to succeed in binary options trading, guys. Listen, it's not just about pressing buttons, it's a whole journey. Do you understand? It's an entire journey. And today I will share this journey with you so you can avoid many of the mistakes I made myself. Step 1, capital and its size. First of all, you need to understand that having enough capital is crucial for successful trading. The question isn't how much money you have, but how you manage the money. Many beginners think of a few $100s is enough to start, but in reality, it's not. Let's just be honest. You need to choose a capital size that lets you trade comfortably without fearing losses at all. So I started with $1,000, and as you know, it wasn't enough to feel confident. But over time, I realized that stable and significant profits, you need not only to understand how the market works, but to also have a certain amount of funds in your account. So don't chase quick money. The key is not to start with a small amount and not to risk too much. Proper money management. Even if you have the money, many people don't know how to manage it properly. This is another reason why many lose their capital early on. The essential rule is never to risk more than 1% of your capital on the first trade. Yes, for some, it may seem too slow, but trust me, guys, this is the only right way. This is the only way to avoid large losses and ensure steady growth. Your balance will grow slowly, but steadily each day. And after some time, you will see the results. So the principle is slow but steady always works. Third one is practice. You need to practice. Like, honestly, it took me a long time before I truly understood the market. Everyone says learn trading and everything will be fine. But only practice can teach you to make that real decisions. Feel the market and adapt to its volatility. It's important to understand that there are no strict rules in trading. that works all the time. You need to try, make mistakes, and try again. Only then will you begin to see like some real results, guys. And always analyze your failures. So I advise you keep to a journal or your failed trades and learn from each one. Step 4 is knowledge. Knowledge is another, foundation. I've said it before, guys. It's important to learn from those who have already been through this journey, knowing how indicators work, how to use them, correctly, and also understanding the market. So this is what will give you an edge over others. You understand, yeah? So you can spend years gathering this knowledge on your own. Step 5, guys, emotional management. Now let's talk about the most important, managing emotions. This is the issue most beginners face. And as you know, it's often for a reason. And the reason is of losses, like when you lose. Emotion is like fear and greed often dictate our decisions. When you realize that results depend on your emotions, you can develop a strategy to minimize their impact. And when I began to, better control my emotions, I started to see much more stable results. So don't be afraid to lose, but don't chase quick profits either. You understand? Stay calm and stick to your strategy. Now, if you want to make your entry into trading as comfortable and clear as possible, I have great news for you. Wait, I've created a community where I share my signals and experience. And even if you don't have much free time, I offer a social trading feature where my trades are automatically copied to your account, allowing you to earn alongside me. You will have exclusive access to your account and you can select the lowest risk settings based on my recommendation. So additionally, you will get access to a private community where I personally conduct trading sessions, analyze markets and trading signals, share my market outlook, and of course, help everyone get started, guys. So I created this community based on my 8 years of experience, asking myself, what advice would I want to get at the beginning? And guess what? We already have 1,160 members. And here are the results they have gotten. So if you want to become part of the community, just click in the link description below and write, I want to join the team. To learn all the details, all you need to do is take the first step and I will be with you. The link is in the description. Many people yearn that trading is associated with high risk and all that. Ask themselves, is it even worth the risk? And are all of these losses justified when there might be a safer way to make money? Everyone involved in trading will face questions sooner or later at some point. Okay, today I want to share my experience of why after numerous failures, I didn't quit trading and go back to a regular job. So why didn't I give up after losses? That's a big question, I know. At first, when I faced big losses, guys, it was of course hard, very, very hard. I could have told myself, why bother? I can find a stable job and make money without this kind of stress. You understand, guys? But at the moment, I thought about what a regular job could offer me. For example, when I worked in an office, I saw people spending years of their lives trying to get a promotion. Just listen, working from 9 to 6, answering to the management and not seeing real opportunities for growth. I realized that in this life, that this kind of life wasn't for me. Trading, on the other hand, is an opportunity to choose when and how to work, decide how much time I want to dedicate to work, and most importantly, be my own boss. And of course, trading isn't as easy as it might seem at first, but it's there. And I saw not just a way to make money, but a tool for real freedom. If I had taken a regular job, I would have continued to feel limited. Trading opportunities versus regular job. When facing difficulties in trading, it's important to remember that there is no income ceiling. You can manage your time and make money. A regular job has clear boundaries, a fixed salary, and to increase it, you need to go through a long process of promotion. So in trading, however, if you work competently and disciplined, you can earn much more. Comparison with other fields, risk and profit. It's important to understand that any business or project involve risk. Take classic startups, for example. Most new companies fail and entrepreneurs lose their money, yeah? But those who persist to the end often make huge profits. The situation in trading is the same. There's always a risk of loss, but those who don't give up and continue learning eventually start to achieve stable results. So if we view trading as a startup, It has every chance to become a very profitable business, but only with the right approach. Trading isn't a game of chance. It's a business where risk management, education, and strategy are crucial. Here, like any other field, you have to go through the journey, learn to avoid a couple of mistakes, and manage risk properly, okay? And despite the failures, trading gives me far more opportunities than any other job out there. So if you're ready to take responsibility for your decisions, this could become a true source of freedom and financial success for you. Understand that trading is a powerful tool that changed my life, but it's not for everyone. Those who control risk, are patient, and disciplined will see results. This works not only in trading, but in life too. Treat it like a business, develop it step by step, and you will achieve your goal. So if you realize you are not ready to invest that much time, the best option is to join my team, where you will get all information and, thanks to my experience, start earning faster. So message me directly and let's work together. This was Thomas, and see you in the next videos.